There's only one thing left to say. Let's rev it up!
Alright guys, welcome back. Okay, so I want to talk about both decks. There's two versions, for those of you that weren't aware. There's Dark Synchron and there's Dark Synchro. But before that, there was a win condition that was this, which is banishing all your opponent's hand. That was Synchro Fusionist. That was insane. That everyone was when people like you really needed to know how to play that deck in order for it to do well. But like any combo deck, they are very fragile. And then Dark Synchro came on in the OCG, where it was you would utilize this and Gofu, because Gofu just made the deck insane. So the original version was just pretty much looping your opponent's hand. If you went first, it was just crazy. So the two differences is this win condition is pretty much banishing your opponent's hand, and then this win condition is making it an unbreakable board. Of course, hands down, this is much better. But the more people were familiar with this deck, the more they were able to tell when to stop or when to interrupt at the right time. So it seems this is more vulnerable to that, because it doesn't have that many accesses to synchroing or extending their play besides opening up this and then synchroing it just omegas. Let's say they go second, right? I'm basing this stuff off if you go second, because they don't really have that. The biggest power push that they can do is Coral or this. That's two board breakers that they can utilize and try to force. But even then, it's not like they can like how to say it, like guarantee an established board after that, because most odds are most of the time your opponent's not going to have a hand, or they'll have like one or two cards and the rest will be established because they've made their field. Whereas this one is meant to be able to battle through an established board much more better, simply because this deck has Jet Warrior, and the fact that you have that extra board breaker and play extender is just insane. Like if this had like main other board breakers, then it'd be more in favor. But for how the deck is structured and how it's been known as till now, they don't really have it. It's just pretty much you have your Norden, your two formula, depending on if you play 3 or 2, but majority of the time they'll always play 2. I just like 3. I don't know. I can't go without 3. And then you play your Tatsunoko, then you played your Excel. Like you wouldn't play these guys. Like you wouldn't play. I mean, there's some that do play this. Some do that play that. But that's after the deck has been evolved. But from its original state, that's pretty much the win condition was, boom, loop your hand. Although this is a little bit like really puzzle reliant, whereas everything needs to float. Whereas I think in this build, you can get away with playing traps. Like I'm not sure if anyone has ever tried it. From what I've seen, from what I've known, no one's ever actually incorporated traps in this build. But I'm pretty sure you can, because it's the plays are pretty basic. It's pretty much dumping, and then banishing, and then it's much more simpler. Is what I'm trying to say. There's nothing wrong with that. That's good. Like that's how top tier decks are made, by the plays being so simple and everyone being able to play them and learn them quickly. That's how everyone gets on board and they manage to master the deck, because it's simple and it's good. So that's the one. That's another thing that has good for it. Whereas this one, it's a little bit more complicated. It's a little bit more versatile, which means you have to think a little bit more, and which is why I gravitate to this one. But don't get me wrong, this, like, hands down, this win condition is way better than this one, because this, you literally don't let him play. Like you literally don't let him play at all. So this is much better. But I think overall, like going second, I like this one, and going first is insane too. Like having that board, banish this, having this set up along with a Trish on their turn, that's insane. That's nearly impossible to break. I mean, it is possible to break, but the hand has to be really specific. Whereas, let's say this one goes second, right? The only option they have is to board break is these two. Unless they play Brio now, you can play Brio. And then whereas this one you would have 1, 2, 3, and then you can play Briar if you want. So the extra board breaker makes all the difference, and especially when you go second, you side out into Scrap Dragon. So that'll make it 1, 2, 3 Brio and Scrap. Assuming I play Brio, that's gonna be insane. So you need those. Those make all the difference for those of you that have been playing the combo deck or just unaware of how combo decks work. Like, those little things make the difference. Being able to bait and board break and simply put pressure, because like you want reactions out of your opponent. Like you want them to use resources. You don't want to just slow roll things and have really underwhelming synchros that, okay, I don't need to strike here. I don't need to strike. So, because the longer they hold that strike, or the longer they hold that disruption, the worse it is for you, because you giving them your best and you haven't forced anything out. That shows weakness out there, because you need something to force, and you need something to reaction. Otherwise, you're gonna save it for later. They're gonna accumulate more resources, and they still have that strike. So you need to be able to establish some sort of board breakers, because that's what makes it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover for those of you that were unaware. But hopefully this clears some stuff up, and that's gonna be it. Thank you for watching.